Hello and welcome back to Retro Rampage.
After an extremely
long hiatus. And we're going to be playing my personal, I'd say, second favorite game of all time. It may be tied for first.
It's going to be some fanboy love going on
here. Yeah, I'm going to be gushing like a fucking little girl over this.
What we're going to do is a comprehensive episode on Metroid, Super Metroid, Metroid 3, if you want to be really precise about it.
Yeah.
We're going to do a complete run through the game, show you some bits and pieces, a little trivia, have some fun, get angry, make some asshole comments.
What you just heard there was my text tone, which is the Super Metroid door opening sound. So,
wow.
Fun fact, yeah.
How ironic is that?
It's ironic because you just mentioned fanboy. My background is the Turian statue. My text sound is the door opening. So it's pretty.
You have some Super Metroid tattoos. So.
I have two. I actually just got one recently.
Super Metroid.
I adore this game. So we're gonna go ahead and start from a fresh save right from the beginning, and we'll go a little bit into the backstory here. But first and foremost, this game came out on April 18th, 1994. So it's an earlier game in the Super Nintendo's lifespan,
and possibly one of the best Super Nintendo games. Everybody gives it credit, and it could never be topped. Hence why there was another iteration until Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I don't use this phrase often, but it's a perfect game in terms of graphics, control, music, story. It's phenomenal.
It's just fucking done right.
Yeah, the storyline right here, it goes over Metroid 1, as you can see here, the last boss when you fight Mother Brain. This game takes place directly after Metroid 2 Return of Samus, which is the Game Boy entry.
Which most people have not played, surprisingly.
It's actually a really good game, yes.
Fire up your Super Game Boys.
Yes. It's a good reason, yeah. Good reason to have a Super Game Boy SR388 LV426.
Exactly. Now, most of you that some younger gamers might have grown up on the Prime series, which are really heavily story driven. You're not going to get as much story in Super Metroid, but it's all there, and it kind of like explains itself for you, which is a really cool method.
Yeah, well, like a lot of games from this era, at least like action platformer type deals. A lot of the story is implied, or God forbid, you had to read the fucking manual.
Oh yeah, the lost art of the manual.
The lost art of the
entire episode on how I feel about games not coming with good literature anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the first Zelda game. You had to, you read up on all the enemies, the whole storyline is in there. Now, funny I mentioned Zelda because this game was designed by Gunpei Yokoi, who headed Nintendo R&D 1. Now, Nintendo R&D 1 had a separate group that splintered off called Deer Force, and they were the team that is specifically responsible for this game. Gunpei Yokoi is also responsible for the original Metroid, Zelda, Tetris, Mario Bros, and Donkey Kong.
And scarring his family, the Virtual Boy.
Well, yeah, and sadly he died in a pretty fucking...
No, I give him no discredit for Virtual Boy. It was an innovative idea.
Car crash.
It was actually pretty cool. I actually think the Virtual Boy is kind of a cool idea. But.
It is. It didn't take off for obvious reasons, but you know what? It's a nice little piece of history worth owning. So yeah, this guy is a fucking champion, and that's why... everyone gives him praise.
Much love from Metroid.
He gets much love from us because, yeah, he made some of the fucking, best series out there, so.
Besides, who else could come up with Super Mario Land? That game's fucking weird.
Yeah, that game is pretty bizarre, but surprisingly fun.
Yeah, this game definitely, for being an earlier title in the SNES history, definitely gives a lot of cool graphical... little upscale in the Super Nintendo. A lot of cool little quips, a lot of
even
cool
the parallax on the asteroids there and stuff. This game really fucking just really kills it, man.
It's colorful. It gives you a real full sense of isolation you get in this game.
See this, even the sprite rotation here, when it tilts over to the left and the sprite scaling. I mean, it's genius. It's absolutely genius.
In case you haven't noticed, we're getting a boner over this. So
yeah.
Stick with us.
Yeah, please try and, realize how much fucking love I have for this game.
Yeah. Excuse the casual boners.
Gamerwood. #Gamerwood. So now we are going to get the Morph Ball, which is a staple of the series because, it came about because they couldn't find a way to make her crawl within the limited, memory on the NES.
But let's make it look
so they're
classy.
All right, well, we'll just put her in a ball. Done deal. So down we go.
Further into the descent.
And, oh god, climbing this room at the end of the game is a complete nightmare.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Honestly, if you haven't played through this game already, you're doing yourself an entire disservice. But, I mean, even then, you've probably heard enough about it that you pretty much know what's coming in terms of storyline and stuff. Like, if you've played Smash Brothers, you've played the escape sequence, which is very similar. So, you're probably already inundated. And if you don't know who Samus is, you should probably just go hang yourself.
Everyone knows Samus.
Seamus.
Metroid.
And what's amazing about, like, this first part is, like, you know, if you don't know where you're going, you can kind of explore a little bit, but, like, right here scared the shit out of me. Not like a jump scare, but it was like, oh, cool, I got this power-up. And then the laser beam comes, it's like, oh, fuck, they know I'm here.
I love all the graphical detail in this game, like the little faces on certain, like right there, little faces, shit like that. Just
they're
so well detailed.
Mm-hmm. And even just like the different tiles in the background, like they didn't skimp on that. Like they really added some variety and made each room unique, you know.
Part of the perfection aspect of this game as well is the fact that it can show you how to play through the game without holding your hand, yet still gives you plenty of exploration.
Well, yeah, and what's funny is that this game is actually extremely linear when you really look at it, because in order to get to certain areas, you need to get certain items, and those certain items can be obtained from, you know, specific areas that then let you get to the next one. But because of the way it's laid out, you still get the feeling of exploration, which is something that I think cannot be rivaled. I'm gonna have to come back to get this bad boy. I gotta get the high jump boots.
Yeah, Ryan knows all the ins and outs of this game, how to get every fucking item and every little thing.
Yeah,
completionist.
Yeah, my record is like I'm nowhere near the speedrunners like fucking you know, Zost and Garrison and those guys. I do not compare. But the fastest I've beaten this and the highest item percentage is I beat it in an hour and 45 minutes game time with like 95% items, because I don't do some of the tricks like the mock ball and stuff like that. Now see, since we got the morph ball and we got seen by that laser, now all the space pirates are out to play. So now climbing that big room is going to be a complete pain in the ass. The heavy breathing you may be hearing in the background is the tired pit bull who, you know, is exhausted
from sleepy time
from doing nothing all day.
In Jersey, it's snowing. It's a perfect day to play Super Metroid, and the dog's passed out, and the rest of us are consuming alcohol while we play a little Super Metroid.
Now, I mentioned earlier that the controls for this game are fucking tits.
Fluid.
Now, you can see right here,
Fluid
if you jump first and then move, you get this vertical jump, which is great for nailing like hard shit like this, like trying to land on small platforms and stuff. But if you're moving before you jump, you get this spin move right here, which will come in handy later when we start doing wall jumps to get some of these items early.
Sounds complicated, but it becomes second nature. This game handles so well.
Yeah, like I've introduced this game to a couple friends that hadn't played it, and the one thing they did note from the beginning is that it's a little rough at first with the control scheme. It can be a little confusing, you know, trying to learn all these different things, because like you can shoot at different angles. Like if you hold the shoulder buttons, like R aims up, L aims down.
But leading back into that Nintendo innovation, it's a game that kind of shows you how all these elements work as you progress through the game. As does not overload you like a tutorial, say like, alright, here's how to do 9,000 moves. Good fucking luck remembering how to use them all. This game has a time and a place for everything, and it flows so nicely that it's that classic Nintendo style ingenuity.
Yeah, they really killed it with this game. Because, like, I'll just show you real quick. Like, yeah, R aims up, L aims down, and if you hold both of them, it'll shoot straight up.
Both of them say yes.
You want the ice cream? Both of them say yes. I need the bombs before I can come back there, so we're just going to go ahead and climb to the top here. Kill that little douchebag.
Now what you'll see in this video, we're gonna do a lot of jumping around because of the length of this game. Obviously, it's not gonna fit into a nice like 10-minute video.
Hey, this would be a full 3-hour real-time type deal, because I'm playing this as I normally do, trying to get all the items that I can, and you know, go through that way. So we might make a couple cuts and stuff here and there, but
yeah, numerous cuts, because the average fan's gonna be falling asleep or not paying attention.
Yeah, but we want to be able to show you everything. So this is gonna be our first. You could consider it a boss fight. Door shuts and turns gray. Very scary. And then
music kicks up.
Then Cock Juggler over here stands up. I'm a Chozo, even though we technically raised you and we're the reason you have your armor. I'm gonna try and kill you when you get this item that's gonna help you fucking defeat the space pirates.
There's a shoulder button action helping out.
Yeah, it comes in so much handy right here. Such handy. Very help. Wow. Memes. I'll kill myself. I'm sorry.
We couldn't help it.
And then when the bosses die, they hook you up with some goodies, and that RNG is based on how much you have of health, missiles, and whatever things you may have at that point in time. Obviously, we just have health and missiles, so it hooked me up with both.
Another good benefit of this game, it caters to, actually, even at some points, it knows what you're missing, it feels like.
Yeah.
You need some of this? Here you go.
Yeah, like, certain enemies have higher drop rates of, like, super missiles and shit like that. Power bombs, when we get those. So it takes care of you. I'm gonna go ahead and go back down here and get some more Miskels.
Maskels.
That's a save room, that's not the one. It's this one. Bang.
That one. You still want to be able to hear like some of the TV, so we can like play all the sound effects and shit. Look at this. Just...
Alrighty.
Just so we can play around with the sound effects and such.
So now we got some more missiles. You're going to be hearing that item jingle quite a bit, so I apologize in advance. This is a little trick right here. If you bounce up from the bomb, there's actually a spot where you can roll through. A lot of people I see on their first playthrough, or sometimes all of them because they don't realize it's there, they just bomb their way back through those walls. Fuck that. I want to take Easy Street.
This game does give you a lot of opportunities to solve puzzles in different ways, or to have different ways to travel around. I've seen Ryan play certain ways, I've seen other gamers play other ways, so it does warrant that. It lets you kind of have your own method for playing this game in certain
And especially with like if you're already adept at wall jumping before the game teaches you how to wall jump, you can actually get things early, which I'm going to show you a couple of those in this playthrough. Here's our first energy tank. I think there's a total of 14, because I think it's 7 across the bottom, 7 across the top, and then you get 4 reserve tanks. And those reserve tanks you can set to automatic, so that if your health drops to 0, it just automatically fills you up with however much you have in your reserve tank. They work kind of like the ones in like the Mega Man X games, where you can, the sub tanks, where you can just farm health to fill them up. It works almost exactly that way. Why did I shoot that? I'm an asshole.
Way to go, dickhead.
Yeah, if you shoot those little things, little guys come out. You can use those to farm health and stuff. But if you're ever at a point where you need health at that room, you've already got some other pre-existing problems.
Okay, you shouldn't be worried about that part.
Now we're in my personal favorite area of the game. This is Upper Brinstar. This is all this green area and plant life. One of the things that really stands out in this game is that the music is just so fitting for every area that you're in, and it really sets the mood.
Ambiance.
Yeah, the ambiance. Now, I could use the Mach Ball and get the super missiles early here, but since I want to show you guys a Spore Spawn fight and all that kind of fun shit, I'm going to go ahead and just play normal. This is like my normal run through. So what we're going to do in here is we're going to shoot straight down, we're going to get a missile expansion, and we're going to get the charge beam, which will be our first beam upgrade. And, speaking of sequence breaking, right here, after I kill this douchebag, and his friend, because you don't want to go too far over because there's blocks that'll make you fall.
Multiple pack of douchebags.
You come up here, and wall jump, you can get that missile expansion early. Give yourself a nice little backstock. Because normally if you look up there, those blocks are specific for the grapple beam. I don't need no fucking grapple beam for that shit. And here's where we get the charge beam. Now the cool thing that the Metroid series does, specifically this game, like, there's an energy tank here, but I need the power bombs for that, so I'll be hitting that back after Norfair when I do some cleanup. The cool thing about this game is that, like, if you notice, the 2 blocks that I destroyed here, they looked out of place compared to the other ones. So this game utilizes visual cues to kind of let you know.
Same with showing you like where to
what
use
areas
bombs
you can
and such.
explore.
Like they have the little icons and everything.
Yeah, like they do hide some stuff pretty well in this game. which, you know, that's cool because that adds replayability and all that kind of stuff.
It goes across the spectrum of like here's how to do certain things and also stuff you can find on your own. So it's that good mix of playability.
And if you've played the first Metroid game, then you already know what kind of secrets to expect and places to look and all that. Like up here, like you can see right here, since you know you got the morph ball, you know you got the morph bomb, you can blow that up, and that takes you to a save, which I'm not going to use. Because what we're going to do is actually I'm going to farm up on this guy right here for some health, missiles, etc. Yeah, you can do things your own way. And here we get to fight Spore Spawn, who hopefully will give me good RNG where he ends up putting his mouth. This right here is a safe spot if you chill in this corner. So all you got to do is just make sure you take out the little spore guys. If I'm good, I can get between 2 and 3 missile shots on his face every turn.
Fucking Marlboro.
Yeah, he looks like a big Marlboro from the fucking Final Fantasy series.
Nah, bro. I always call him Marlboro. It's just
yeah, I call him. I call him Marlboro too.
On a
yeah.
Basis.
See, like modern games piss me off because it's just like follow this guy, press X to do this, press Y to do that. How about just fucking show me how to play the game through design.
Again, without using excessive tutorials where it overloads you. Like, here's 18,000 moves. Good luck remembering all of them. Because we're not going to show you in an intuitive way how they fucking work.
Now,
well, they hold your hand. They also allow you to just restart where you died until you figure it out.
Yeah, there's all kinds of checkpoints and shit.
It's just not done right.
Like, if I died right now, I would have to start from the beginning. And that would be my own dick to eat, you know? Like, I sowed my own poison.
Die on your own dick.
Well, thanks for tuning in to our triumphant return.
Check out our old videos, or watch them again if you've already seen them.
And be sure to tune in for episode 2 of our Super Metroid series.
Mini-series.
And as always, keep it old school.
Peace.